All right, so good afternoon again. This is our third session, and today we're going to continue with Pascal programming. The assignment, as I mentioned, you're to create a Pascal program where students would enter their grades, and based on that, you will calculate their GPA. So we're going to try and wrap up Pascal today so that you'll be able to complete, for those of you who have not done so yet, complete your assignment. Of course, the tutorials are there online. The links to the tutorials are there to assist you. If there are any questions, you can let me know. Are there any questions? I know some of you spoke about the assignment on any other assessment. Do you have any other questions? No? All right. I will wait until some of the others have, or maybe towards the end, I will ask again. Okay? All right, what I'm going to ask you to do, we're going to look at loops, and we're going to look at loops are control structures, and we're going to look at arrays. Now we looked at the if then else, which allows you to create different options within your program. So if based on the input or based on a calculation, then the program will decide what to output once it checks against whatever it is you have set out in your program. And the example we used last week was the grade, the student's grade. The student grade was 60 or above, then the student passed, otherwise the student failed. So that is just one example. Now, they're not always, the program isn't always written straightforward, simple, sequential. Sometimes you have to repeat certain steps several times, and this is why you need loops, okay? So I'm going to use the example of factorial. Now, factorial, if you remember in your math, it's calculated based on multiplication of a series of numbers. And the set of numbers are sequential in decreasing order, if I've said that correctly. So, for example, the factorial of 4 factorial, which is indicated with an exclamation, would be 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. That will give you the value of 4 factorial. So in a case like that, you want to set up something where to make your program look more professional and more tidy, you want to use a control structure like a loop. Instead of equal, multiply this times that, minus that, and then multiply again, and so on. There's always several ways to do it, but a control structure in the example of a loop would be more effective in this case. So we're going to use that example, and what I wanted to do, I see Sherry and Nardia, and I see Tariq. I am going to give you three different programs we're going to work on. 3 different examples, rather. And you're going to go ahead and create the programs in Pascal. Now, I was hoping to see the others so that you could work in pairs. So, for example, Nardia, you had already done factorial, so what I'm going to ask you to do, you're going to write a program to calculate the pay of individuals. We had done this example already, but we didn't do the program for it. So so the first example is to calculate the gross and net pay, gross salary, and net salary for persons. And this is for Nardia. And in it, Nardia, I want you to show the deductions. And you know what our deductions are? NIS, education tax, and NHT. All right, so Nardia, I want you to start. So you have to first identify what variables you're going to need, what kind of data you're going to be working with. I want you to start putting your program together. Okay? Example number 2, I'm going to give this to Sharianne. So you're going to calculate the square and the factorial of a number. Sharianne, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. All right, so I've posted it. I hope you're seeing in the chat.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, and then Tariq, you are going to write a program to take, it's going to accept 3 numbers, specifically integers, and compare them and return which number is the largest and which is the smallest. That's okay, Tariq?
Yep, I'm gonna try my best.
Okay. All right. So I want you to start. I want you to start working, and what we'll do, if you meet upon a hurdle, we can work it out together. Okay. All right. So I'm going to, have to time you. I am going to give you 15 minutes to get started, and we'll see how far you get.
Okay.
Okay.
For my example, can I choose a number? Like, can I say enter number below a certain number?
What number are you thinking of? Because yes, factorial can get. Repeat that.
I can say 8. Enter number below 8.
Okay. All right.
Okay, I'll try both ways. Let me try both ways.
Okay. All right. All right, I think 15 minutes have passed. Could you tell me how far you are?
Well, I try to figure mine out.
Okay.
I haven't got progressed too much either.
Okay. And Nadia?
I'm trying to write in Pascal, but I'm getting a bunch of errors. I'm still trying to understand Pascal.
Okay, so you've gone straight ahead and use it. You're doing it in the compiler.
Well, I scribbled something down, but not completed. So I was trying to see how if I can run it in Pascal for the steps, but I'm
Okay.
trying to in my head.
All right, but you figured out what is required, because that's the first step you need to. You need to figure out the problem and what is required, the data and the variables and so on. Have you sorted that out?
Well, I figured the variables. What I have for the variables are the gross, net, and NIS, NHT, and the extension. Those are the variables.
Okay.
I assigned a value to gross. Then I was using the if statement.
Well, you haven't. What about the regular hours and the overtime hours?
You said that overtime hours in it?
Oh, I didn't. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't tell you to use that. But yes, I wanted to see you calculate overtime hours and regular hours and overtime hours. All right. What I want you to do, I want you to at least, then this is for the three of you, at least figure out what the steps are or what are the steps needed for your program. So if you don't get to do it completely and type it in Pascal, then fine. But I just need you to outline what the steps will be, what variables are required for your program. So I'm going to give you 10 more minutes to just sort it out. You're going to, you must, at the end of those 10 minutes, have figured out how your program is going to work. All right, so I'll give you 10 more minutes. Welcome, Sashana.
Hi. I'm dialing via phone at the moment.
Okay. All right. What is happening? The person has been given an activity to work on. I had posted the information in the chat, but for some reason, I think my window restarted. So I am not seeing any information. So I'm not sure if you are seeing anything at all in the chat.
No, I'm not seeing anything in the chat.
Okay. Okay. Nadia, could you send it to her for me, please? If you have the information, I'm just going to ask Nadia to just copy and paste the information. We're going to go through shortly. Sounds like some celebrations going on.
Okay.
All right, I think the 10 minutes have passed. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask you to, just for the sake of Sashana who has joined, just state the problem that you were given and just outline the steps that you have come up with for the solution. Anyone wants to go first? Do we start with? All right, let's.
I'll start to get it out of the way.
Okay, go ahead.
Did you get too far? What you want me to just share my screen or?
Okay, you can go ahead. I'm not sharing it, so you can go ahead and share your screen.
It's missing a lot of pieces, but I put what I thought should be in there. Yeah, I need to do a lot of handwork and a lot of research.
Okay.
But I put highest as an integer, lowest as an integer. So what the in-betweens after the begin, where do I go from there? Because I print, enter 3 numbers, and yeah, as you can see, I need a lot of help.
Okay. All right, but at least you started. You are going to need something else. I think you're going to need at least another variable. You're going to need at least another variable. Just off the top, I'm not sure. Maybe it can work with just highest and lowest because it's only 3 numbers. But you might want to have another variable to hold. So when they take in that number, you want to have that. It will hold that number, and then it will compare. You will assign it. Okay, so let's say, for example, we're going through the steps. Enter 3 numbers. They enter the first number. You have that variable hold that first number, right?
Okay.
And then maybe it could be highest or lowest. So you assign that first number as highest. Then they enter another number. You compare it. If it is greater, then it is higher. If it's not, but what becomes of the first? I don't know if you get what I'm saying. If it's already all right, so you have max and min, and you have highest and lowest. So you have to be consistent.
Okay.
Yes. I think maybe so keep it consistent. But maybe what you could start off with is the usual 3 numbers like num1, num2, num3. So if you take enter first number, you assign that as num1, and then you enter second number, that becomes num2. If num2 is greater than num1, then that is highest. When they enter the third number, you can test it again. The thing about it is there are several ways that you can do it.
Right.
There are several ways you can do it. I think I already have a solution that I'm going to share with you, but I wanted to see what you had. Right, and then you assign that as num2, and then you enter third number and you assign that as num3. And then you start to do your comparisons.
Okay.
Right, so if num2, num1 greater than num2, num1 highest. Or you can say if num1 greater than num2 and num1 greater than num3, then that's highest. And that's done right there. And then you decide which one is the lowest. Am I clear? Am I making sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Time because we're off there. Yeah.
All right. So it's going to take some comparisons.
Yeah.
So you're going to need your if then else to do your comparisons and then your print. So you pretty much have the shell of what is required.
Okay.
Yeah. So it would be good if you take the time to just put it in Pascal to see if you or put it together, and then I can give you further feedback on it.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right, so thanks, Eric. Let me hear what. Sharon, you want to go next, or Nadia?
We're 24.
Yes, why are you go? Can
I'll mute it for you.
I muted it.
Can I send you my program, because I'm working on 2 machines. The one I'm on doesn't have Easy Pascal, so can I just send you it and you share your screen and I can go through?
Okay, sure, go ahead.
Yeah, I just sent it.
Okay.
But I used Easy Pascal. Hopefully, it should work with that.
You used Easy Pascal?
Yes. I think I got it.
Okay, Tariq, I think you have to stop sharing. Stop sharing your screen. Ah, beautiful. Thanks. What did you say now?
I sent
it
the
via
Easy
email?
Pascal. Pardon?
Where did you send it?
To the same the address I've been using.
Email?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to check that. Nadia, are you there? Nadia? Right, I'm going in to check. All right, I have sorry, 1 second. I'm trying to trying to do two things at the same time. For Tariq, there's a document I'm making visible now. All right, the document is called, the link is called Problem Solving, Algorithm and Program Implementation. It's a Word document, and it's just below the presentation, Introduction to Algorithm Design. If you look in that document, Tariq, you'll see two possible solutions to the question. I think it only shows the highest. I'm not sure if it shows the lowest. So you can look at that to see how it is implemented.
And where is that to?
In RVLE.
Okay.
On the topic 2.
Okay.
All right, I'm seeing.
I see Introduction to Algorithm Design, Introduction to Pascal Notes, Online Lessons in Pascal.
Oh, refresh your page, sorry. Refresh your page. All right, I'm seeing it now. All right, Sharian, yes, finally you're here. All right, so Sharian has, let me share this with you.
Is it online lessons in Pascal?
It's wait 1 second, let me double check.
Okay.
Have you, oh, no, it's above that. It's a Word document. It says problem solving.
Okay. All right. Got it. Thanks.
Okay, this way. All right, sorry, I'm here now. Are you guys seeing the program?
Yes, I see it.
Okay, all right. So this program calculates the square and factorial of a number, right? So the variables are a, x, and y, and we have another variable f. So it starts by assigning 0 to x and 1.0 to f. And it's asked to enter a number, and it assigns whatever number to x, right? Then for a equal to 1 up to x, f is equal to f times a, and y is equal to the square of x, all right? So now, Sharon, gone a little bit complex. I wanted a simple way where you just take the two numbers and you multiply them by each other to get the square. I also have another possible solution for the factorial in that same document. All right, so you see now where I'm not seeing, is Desma okay? I've not seen her.
She's okay. Her school just had graduation this afternoon.
Oh.
So she wasn't able to make it today.
Oh.
She said if she got through a little bit early, she would have logged on.
Yes. It's okay. Understand the world of children. I understand. All right. So here we are. So you're using a function called square. All right. So you're using the loop, and it's going to multiply f times a and assign it to f. And whatever it is, whatever x is. So let's just go through it as an example. Let's say x is 3. Let's start small. So this will run 3 times. And the first time, I hope the others are following. So the first time where it says for a equal 1 to x, x is 3, and f is 1. So f would be equal to 1 times 1, correct? Yes. And then it goes back. A goes up to 2. So f is now 1 times 2. And it goes up 3. 2 times 3, right? And that is calculating the factorial. You could look at the other way that I've done it, but this works just as fine. You've tested it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So this is fine. This is just another way of doing it. And you're using the function square, and y is equal to square of x. For those, I wanted something that is simpler though, for those who are new. But I think is everybody okay with this? Anybody has any question on this? Sashana, are you still with us? Nadia, are you here? If you can communicate via chat, that would be good. Just send me a signal. All right, so I'm going to run it. All right. And we enter, you didn't put a limit, so we're going to enter a number. Let's enter 5. And the square of 5 is 25, and the factorial of 5 is 120. So it works. All right. All right, so thank you very much. All right, so thank you. So the third one now, as I said, an example, another way of doing this is also in, I'm going to create a space so you can upload it and share, right? All right, so another way of doing this is also in the document, the first document. All right, so we're going to go to Nardia, and Nardia, you're going to share what you have. Are you with us, Nardia? Yes, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I was away for a while. You were calling my name?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry about that.
Okay, I wanted you to share what you have done.
I just scribbled something down and I didn't really type it up.
Okay, so no problem. Tell us what your program is going to do.
Okay, hold on. Looking for the question in the chat. You deleted the question out of the chat?
No idea. Oh, what happened? I took the window actually restarted. It said that there were some internet problems and it restarted on its own. So because of that, I'm not seeing the question. Are you hearing me?
Hello?
Are you hearing me?
Right. You said to calculate the overtime and the, trying to remember the
it's
question.
Gross and gross salary and
overtime.
Net salary.
Yes, the gross and the net.
Right.
And you had given NIS education tax, NHT, and the workers would have worked overtime.
Right. So regular hours and overtime hours would be included.
So first of all, I declare the variables that I just mentioned, and then I begin. But first, you'd have to calculate what the regular rate is and what the overtime work would be.
Okay.
So the regular rate would be the hours worked times how much the worker would work per hour.
Okay.
So you could assign a value. Right. Assign a value there. And then the overtime would be the regular rate times 1 time and a half.
Yes.
Something like that.
Yes.
So once you have gather that information, you can then now determine what the gross would be. And the gross would be is equal to the regular rate times the overtime. The figure that you will get for the overtime?
The gross will be
the regular rate, which is hours work times the amount that the worker is paid per hour.
So
plus overtime rate.
Okay.
Not overtime. Overtime, the amount is that the worker works.
Right.
So the regular rate, we said overtime is regular rate times time and a half.
Right, that's fine. I understand now. I'm following.
So we now want to get to the gross. And I'm saying the gross is equal to the regular rate, the figure for the regular rate, plus the overtime amount.
Which is correct, yes.
Right.
Mhm.
To get to the next thing, you have to deduct all of the ones that we had mentioned earlier, the NIS, the education, and the NEC from the gross to get to the net.
Okay. All right. So and you would have put in there the percentages.
Percent. It's a real. It's percentages.
You'd have decided how much NIS is, what percentage.
Right. You'd have to declare how much NIS, but NIS is then worked out based on the worker's salary because not everybody will pay the same NIS.
Yes. So
Well,
all
I'd
of
have
those
to-
are percentages.
Yes,
Okay.
percentages, right? So then I'd have to assign percentages to all of those NIS in the NHT and education.
Yes.
Right.
All right. That's it. Finished.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. What I want to do, are there any questions? You okay, Tari? Okay, Sashana? I know this is everyday thing for Sherian. I know.
Sorry, and you're an expo man, bro.
Well, this is
That one, I had to go to the internet to solve that last one.
oh, that one. Oh, you took to the internet for that one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, what site you used?
A bunch of different sites. I was actually just Googling how to find the square because my brain did not realize I could have just multiplied the number by itself.
Okay.
All right. Well, you came up with the solution either way. All right. So what I want to do, I want to look at arrays. Which, based on some readings, I realized that it's a ticklish topic, a topic that some persons have found difficult to teach, and some students have found it difficult to understand and grasp. Since Sherian is there in the class and has been teaching for how long now, Sherian?
6 years.
6 years you've been doing Pascal programming.
Yes.
Okay. If your son or daughter will allow you, if you could just share some of the experiences teaching programming and also teaching arrays specifically.
Okay, well, first of all, I can say that teaching Pascal, teaching programming is the most challenging part of the CSEC syllabus.
Okay.
It is, and arrays is usually the most... And teaching arrays is normally the topic I leave for last.
All right, I'll give you a minute.
Let me just try to organize.
Okay, no problem. All right, fine. When you get a chance, you can tell us about it. I have a 2-year-old, and I know what that can be like. All right, so as soon as you get a chance, you can come back and talk to us. All right, so some of the information, programming has been seen as challenging and difficult overall. And in one study coming from Trinidad, I believe, in talking to some of the teachers, what one researcher found was that they wanted to take out the topic arrays out of it. To me, it's not that difficult. It's just that there are some topics that take a little extra thinking, and this is one of them. But one of the problems is that, and it came from the teachers as well, is that they don't get enough time to really absorb the content. They don't get a lot. School, they have practically about a year to do, or 2 years to cover the CSEC syllabus. I don't know what your syllabuses are like or your curriculum is like in Bermuda, Tariq, but the CSEC syllabus is normally covered over a 2-year period. And within those 2 years, there are a number of things to consider. We don't really get 2 full years. We get maybe 9 months in each academic year. And then the 9 months, we have to battle with a number of events and things going on. And God forbid any natural disasters. So sometimes we don't get the time, quality time for students to spend on the content. All right, so I'm just going to go through in a simple way what an array is. And unlike a regular variable, which holds one particular item, data item, an array will hold several items. So an array, maybe think of a box with several CDs in it. It can hold different, several CDs within that box. Or think of a little bookshelf where you have different slots where you can put different items in. However, the array, because it's one thing, all of the items within that array must be of the same data type, just like a variable. So I can create an array that holds integers and can hold maybe 5 integers. So when you're creating your array, you define all of those things. You set the number of items it can hold and the data type. So in a nutshell, that's what an array is. So it holds, go ahead.
So if you're programming that into Pascal, would an array be like, okay, integer equals numbers 1 to 10, or?
Something like that. It's actually written something like that. So you have 1 and you have 10. 1 as 1 to 10, but it's shown with dots. So 1 dot dot 10 as a range of items it can hold.
Okay.
Right. So you get the gist of it. Right. So it is just like other variables, but instead of holding one data item, it can hold several data items, all of the same data type. So if you want to create an array for strings or integers or float or real numbers, you can do so. So if you want a particular value to be displayed now, you have to refer to it or use a reference. So it's no longer just writing the variable name. It has to be the variable, the array name with the location of the data item. And I'm going to do the example so that we can have an idea of what I'm talking about. All right, so let me just get here. All right, so I have a new screen I'm going to share. All right, so I'm sharing here. And just as how we would have, as I said, let's say program. Let's name our program. Okay. So just as how you declare your variables here, you will have array. So this is where you name, put the name of the array. The first thing that goes is the name of the array. So let us call this class array. And then you put your colon, just as how you put the data type. But before that, you put that it is an array, open square brackets. How many items we want? We want 1 to 5 items. Close bracket. And what data type it is? Integer. So that is an example of declaring an array. Okay? So it means that you you can hold 5 data items or 5 integers specifically. And so in this array called class array, the first integer item will be in class. You have to be specific with your spelling. Class array 1. This will hold the first integer item. Okay? And similarly, the second integer item or the second integer will be assigned to class array 2 and so on up to 5. Still with us?
And you would have to put that class array 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5? Each
Yes,
something like that?
if you want to retrieve or to display what is in the individual sections of the array, then you have to refer to that specific one.
You see how you have class array 1 dot dot 5. Would you? Can you also put 1, comma 2, comma 3, comma 4, comma 5?
No, you can't do it like that. This is just declaring it at the top. That's just for declaration. But if you want to refer to the individual items, you have to use it. You have to do it like that. But I'm going to show you how you can use the loop instead of having to do it over and over to do that. Right? Okay. Sherian came and Sherian stepped off again. So I'm going to continue. All right, I'm going to copy a little program. This is from the I'm just going to show you an example here. All right. All right, so this is taken from one of the tutorials, the Pascal tutorials. So if you look at this one, it has declared a variable called myvar, which is of data type integer. It has declared an array called myArray. So remember, the first thing is the name of the array, then a colon, and it tells you that it is of data type array. It is an array, sorry, with X number of items, which in this case is 1 to 5, and it is of data type integer. The items are of data type integer, right? And within the program itself now, after declaration, within the statement, it's, see how you have to put myArray right here. You have to put myArray 2 equals 25. So what you're doing here is you're putting 25 into the second space of the array. Okay? And then what you're doing, whatever you're assigning the value that is in the second space of the array to myvar. So they now hold the same value or the same data item. Okay? Following? No? You want me to go over it? Make sense? I'm not hearing Sashana or Nardia. Remember, if you're not clear, you can message me or check the chat. All right, so let's try something. Let me pause. Sherian, you want to go ahead while you seem to have a little piece?
Yes, you just want me to give an example of basically how I bring the concept of arrays across?
Yes, you can go ahead. Yes, go ahead and do that.
Oh, no, well, I heard your explanation. It's pretty much the same thing. Okay. But I like to use, for them, I guess my kids are younger, the example of like an egg carton. Okay. I tell them whenever they go to the supermarket, they will find it. It's one container, but they get eggs in it. They never go and they get sausages or corned beef or anything else in it. So it's that one container, because I try to let them know that variables are containers. for storing information in it. So an array is basically, they will use it when they have to store multiple pieces of data, but they have to be of the same data type. So if it's all integers or string or real numbers, they know once you have to store, once a program is asking you for multiple things of the same type, you use an array, as opposed to doing ask for one name, store one name, ask for the same name, instead of doing the same thing 10 times.
Yes.
So, yes, well, that's basically my introduction to arrays. I try to tell them the whole point of programming is to be efficient. And when you have to do something, I guess as you were getting to it, arrays go hand in hand with the for loop, with loop. So that's why I tell them it usually is used when you're using that, when asking for multiple pieces of data.
Yes.
So.
All right. And one of the other things I was asking you, what kind of challenges you have? You said it's the most difficult part of the CSEC. Do you leave it for last? Do you do it first?
Well, in my school, whereas I guess normal other schools have 3 years, 2 years to work on the CSEC syllabus, we actually have 3 years.
Oh.
They choose their subjects from Form 2. So I actually use it for the whole Form 4. That's grade. I haven't switched to grades. But I actually do 2.5 terms to get the programming down. And my biggest issue with the arrays is them actually being able to decipher from a problem that an array will actually be used.
Okay.
Yes, so they will probably still give me 10 variables of an integer data type instead of just giving one
array.
thing. Yes, so that's my biggest difficulty with the array. Once you identify that you're using an array, it's pretty much straightforward. But I think the problem comes in the identification of the variables, that first step.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. All right, so what I'm going to do now, we're going to go through a bit of coding so that you have a better understanding of how an array works and how you can use it, right? I have a piece of, this same, all right, let me take it piece by piece. All right, are you seeing? I'm not sure if you're seeing. I just opened a program. Are you seeing it, or you're seeing the first program?
We still see your
the first program.
Array piece, yeah.
Okay. All right. Here, what I'm going to do. Let's leave that alone. All right. So let's work with this. All right. Say we're using the for loop, and we're going to use the loop to accept the numbers as they are entered. So you don't have to put 5 times, please enter a number. You're going to put it once, and you're going to put the statement of assigning the variable once, right? All right, so let us try and see how this works. We're going to use the for loop. So we say for. I'm going to put another variable here, and I'm going to put the variable I. Okay? And I is going to be used in the increment. So I is going to be first 1, and then it's going to be incremented up to 5 because there are 5 spaces. Okay? All right, so for I equal 1 to 5, do. Okay? And because we have a number of steps, I'm just going to ignore those 2 lines. We have a number of steps. All right, let me not confuse you. I'm going to take it out. Take it out. All right, so we want the person to enter the numbers. They're going to enter 5 numbers. So what can we put here? And we're going to have to put one statement that is going to be printed 5 times. So what do we put here? Right line. What do we want them to do?
Enter a number. Or?
Okay, enter a number. All right, let's work with that. What next? We've asked them to enter the number. What do we do next?
Read.
All right, so we read line. Now, where are we going to put this number?
No.
Where? Think about it. Look at what we have. We have an array and we don't really, my var you can ignore. So we're using, I'm going to take this out. So we only have the integer I and we have the array, my array. So where are we going to put this? Remember, it's going to loop 5 times and each time it's going to, you're going to ask, enter a number, and you're going to have to assign that number to a variable or somewhere that it can be stored. So, go again. My array, yes, man. My array, well, remember, you have to put a number, an index number. In this case, we're not putting a number, we're going to put the variable I. Why am I doing that?
The location.
Not hearing you.
The location.
All right, so this will indicate the location. But notice I've not put 1 or 2 or 3, I've put I. Why have I put I instead of a number?
So because I is the variable, that is the container that the number is being stored in.
All right, but I is going to
You already
change.
assigned I.
Repeat that?
You already assigned I in the formula above or the line above.
Right, and so it's going to change. So in the first instance, I is 1.
And it's going to increment.
Loop runs again, I will be 2. And then is going to change to 3 and so on and so forth. So instead of me putting my array 1, my array 2, my array 3, and so on, I put my array I, and it changes as it goes along. Follow? All right. So they're going to enter a number, and the number will be assigned to that particular space. Okay. Do we need to put anything else? Anything else?
Print.
Print, you want to
My
print? Okay. So we're going to print again. Number, the number or the integer, I'm going to see if I can put this in Okay. All right, I'm going to put that. The integer entered is, okay. And I'm going to put my, and I'm going to put back the same my array. I'm going to put I. As I said, practice is what will get you. I'm just going to put another read line here. Is there anything else that we need to do? No? All right, we're going to stop right here and we're going to test it. Let's see if, let me make sure that what I have here makes sense first. All right, it doesn't matter that you have space in it. It won't prevent it from running properly. All right, so this one says, expression. I'm going to take this out and see if it does. All right, so I'll take out the last one. I've put the curly brackets, it puts it as a comment, so it doesn't seize it as a part of the program, right? So you use your curly braces as comments. All right, so let's run this. See what's happening? Can you see what's happening at the top? So I enter number 25. The number entered is 25. Enter number 36, 36. See? All right, so we can do this another way. All right, so it runs 5 times. 25, 36, 85, 89, 63. Are we clear with that?
Couldn't all that happen without putting all this array business or not?
Repeat that.
Couldn't all of that happen without putting this business about array?
An array? All right. It could have happened. It could have happened. You would have had different variables.
Oh, okay.
You would have had num1, num2, num3, num4, num5.
Okay.
Yeah. But in this case, where you have it in the loop here, you can't put, you see how I have read line, my array, I?
Yeah.
Wouldn't work well with a loop. Different variables.
So you're saying this only happened 5 times, you're saying?
Yes, because of what we declared here at the top.
Okay. Okay.
For I equal 1 to 5. Right, so it runs 5 times. All right, what I'm going to change it up a little bit, Tariq. So where it prints here, I'm going to take this out. All right, I'm going to take this out. And I'm going to put another loop that prints it separately.
So you put an increment, instead of you put entering, actually you just enter 5 times. Different numbers. If you put it in a way like with increment, like if the user enter 1,
you add a number to it,
you will see a display of 5 numbers coming down instead of entering a number each time 5 times.
But you want the randomness of it, and you want the input from the user. So it depends on what you're calculating. So if, let's say, for example, if in the example of the grades, if you want the person to enter the grades, you can't increment it. You have to just allow the persons to enter whatever number. Follow?
Okay. Yeah.
So it just depends on what exactly your program is supposed to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or,
Follow?
well, I guess, yeah, I was thinking a little bit wider.
Okay. Okay. So, I mean, of course you can do it. It can be done that way. In that case, then you won't need to. What you do is you ask the person to enter the number and you start the loop after the person has entered the number.
Yeah.
Right. So then you add 2 and then you add 2 and you add 2 more, so you get different numbers.
Right.
So num1 equal num2 equal num1 plus 2 and so on and so forth. Right? Am I clear?
Yes.
Okay, good. Beautiful. All right. All right, so we're going to change this up again just a little bit. We're going to put another loop here. This time the loop to print it. We're changing up the loop. So for I equal 1 to 5. Remember, you decide how many variables. We're going to put begin here. And we're going to put right line. All right, so the number in, so now we're going to list all the numbers. So the numbers, in the array are, no, we don't want this right here. Okay. All right, I'm going to take this out of the loop for a reason. Whatever is in the loop is going to, if you put the print in the loop, it's going to print that number of times, and we don't want that. All right, so I'll just put the statement outside. So what it's going to do, it's just going to print the variable, which is my array, I will put I here. By the way, I've heard, where is Ronald? How is he?
He said it's following this by on the phone, or what's that? Phone chat or?
Oh, repeat. Sorry, repeat that.
Is there something you can follow this online through a phone, a mobile, or something?
Okay, okay. So he's following. Because
Yeah.
when his graduation, his school graduation.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay, okay. Okay. Well, I guess I will speak to him to see what the situation is.
Okay.
Yes. All right, so I've put in something to just print the numbers. I'm going to put All right, so it's going to print the number and print 2 spaces beside it. All right, let us see if this works. Just want to be able to see more of the program. All right. So your 2 loops here. One to accept the numbers in the 5 spaces, and then the other one is to print the numbers. All right. So let us see what happens. All right, this one always gets this. Right, I'm not, sometimes it's, Right, I'm going to take out this read line again. It's, I don't know why it gives an issue. I'm going to comment it out. All right, so compile successful. Run. All right, so enter a number, 24, 36, 58, 96, 22. And the numbers in the array are 24, 36, 58, 96, 22. Follow?
Impressive, yeah.
Okay. So you see, you get a better idea now of how it works. Right? So it's just for you to understand how to manipulate it and rearrange it so that you can create the most effective and efficient program, right? So I'm going to post this, of course, so that you can look back at it and see what. All right, so what I'm going to do something else. We're not quite done yet. I know I have 10 more minutes. I'm going to show you that you can do your calculations just as how you do your calculations with your regular variables. So you can do your addition, multiplication, and so on. Just the same, okay? So we're just going to do subtraction, and we're going to do an addition. Just one subtraction, addition. All right, so we're going to add, let's put two other variables. So at the top, where I have I is the only variable we have there. I'm going to put comma, sum, and comma, difference. So I'm just going to put diff. All right, let me just spell it out for those who, so they understand what it is. Sum and difference. Okay? All right, and then what I'm going to do, just going to show you how you use the array and you do your calculations. So we have our sum and we have our difference. So sum equal, just as how you do any other calculation. Let's add, I'm getting a message. Okay. Sherian had to step out. All right, so if we're doing, we want to add whatever is in the first and the second section of the array. How would we write that? Let me ask Nardia. How would you write that, Nardia? We're going to add whatever value is in the first and the second sections of the array. Nardia with us?
Sorry, you wanted what?
We want to add the variables in the first and the second sections of the array.
Oh.
How would you put that? So I've put already sum equal. How would we write it?
I'm not sure.
All right, do you have any idea how we'd write that, Tari?
And what is it you're trying to do?
We're
Sum up all of them?
Just the first two. In the array, whatever is in space number 1 and space number 2, we're going to add those two. How would you write that?
Sum 1 and 2, or?
All right, remember now we have to put the array name and we have to put the index number. So sum equal, and what's the array name?
My array.
My
1.
array. All right, beautiful. And what do we put next?
My array 2.
Plus my array 2. Okay? And we want to print this. The sum is just general, just want it to print to the screen. All right, and we put sum. All right, similarly, we want to show the difference. So equal, and we're going to subtract whatever is in space 3 and space 4. We're going to find the difference between those two values. How we go about that? Very similar to what you had. My array 3 minus my array 4. All right. And then we want to print it to the screen. The difference is, of course, this is just for demonstration purposes. If you're writing a program, you have to say the difference of what? Sorry. All right. All right, is everybody still with me? Following? All right, so I've shown you how you declare the array. I've shown you how to assign values into the array, the different sections of the array. Now we're looking at how you, where we looked at how we printed the values or retrieved the values from the array. And now we're going to look at how do you do calculations, simple calculations with the values within the array. Okay? All right, so let us see if we have any errors in here. This is expected right here. All right, so I missed that out. Any other issues? Expression expected. All right, I'm taking this out. Let me see if that works like that. Okay. Okay, I see. Take out the bracket and try this. All right, so, okay. All right, so we're going to enter 58. 96, 35, let's do 81, 32, and 16. The numbers in the array are, all right, so why it does this now, I put the read line here, so it pauses. So I have to press enter now so it doesn't run, it doesn't go ahead and show all 5 numbers. I have to press enter, right? But I'm not, it's not done yet. See, the sum is 154 and difference is 49. All right. All right, so I'm going to pause right here and I'm going to ask if you have any questions, any issues, concerns, problems.
I wish I could find a website or a chart that gives you like a whole host of different exercises.
Okay, that will help you.
Yeah.
All right. Did you try the link that I posted? Or it's not as clear? There's the online lessons in Pascal, programming in Pascal. It's the same tutorial. Did you try that one?
I haven't tried it yet, so maybe that's the key right there.
Okay, all right. So you can try that. If not, I haven't found any links on YouTube. I don't know if that could help. Maybe you could check that out. All right, so you need some additional help then and some practice. All right.
No, I just need to put some time towards it. That's what it is, too.
Okay, okay.
School's out tomorrow, so I'm going to be up first thing in the morning hitting the Pascal.
Okay.
I like your easy Pascal version. That's nice.
All right. I'm not sure. Did you try to, you said you couldn't get the, did you try to get the other one, the link that I sent you?
I have some Def Pascal, but this looks nice.
Okay. All right. I can't tell you where they got this from. I just know that this was installed. This was installed months ago, but this one, it should be very easy to get. Should be.
I have another.
Okay. All right, so I'm copying what we did in a Word document, and I'm just going to put some comments in it. Are there any other questions though? No?
That's it.
Okay. Sashana, are you okay? Can you message me? Nadia, are you okay? You're free to talk, Sashana. Go ahead.
Free to talk. No, the noise and everything is gone.
Okay.
This is something I definitely have to spend a little more time on. It's not a strong topic. So okay. I've been looking up and using YouTube and the other links that you send to get the assistance with Pascal and everything else.
Okay. All right. Sashan, sorry, Nadia, are you okay?
Yes, I'm okay. I just need to practice.
Practice, all right.
I get familiar with the syntax because it's so much different from what I'm accustomed to.
Okay. All right, but you do see that I think it's fairly simple.
Yes, it is. It's just the time.
Okay. All right, so thank you very much. Just a reminder that you have your assessment components. You have your Pascal program, you have the SBA to work on, and you have what the other 15% will comprise of some exercises that you're to do in database management and spreadsheet. So that will comprise the 15%. So it was 3 at first, 5% each, but I will change it and put one spreadsheet and one database management. And I will post the database assignments. I'll tell you which one, and I'll indicate which spreadsheet you'll be doing and where you upload them. Okay? As I said, the dates are there, but they're tentative and will change based on the time that we started. And again, if you're having a problem, email me or send me a message on my phone. You already have my number, I believe. You can message me. And the exam date is there also. It's the 14th of July. Let's see how we progress throughout the end of this week and onwards, and let's see if we need to change. Yes, Tariq?
Do you have, you gave us your number, you said?
Yes.
What's your number?
876.
876.
851.
51.
3251.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Were you doing that group chat thing you said you was going to start?
Yes, I said it about 5 times and I've not done it. I've been a little delinquent. I apologize. I have to put it on my list. Do you think we need another session this week, or I'll leave you to work and then we can have a session next week?
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
So we'll do that then. We will have one more session next week, and I'll allow you to work on your assignments. And I'll try to put up some links to some tutorials for you.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
All right. So have a good evening. You have something to say, Tashana?
No, I was saying okay with the tutorials and additional class lectures. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So have a good evening, everyone. And I will see you next week, Tuesday.
Okay, bye.
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 Bye-bye.
Bye.